Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to a fine Wednesday afternoon, or whatever happens to be in your time zone. I'm SLdr Cody, and I'm Cody. Hello, everybody. Congrats on getting first Omega. Welcome on in, anybody who may be here on a lurk. It's good to be back. Oh, hold on. Let me change the tab back to Stream Manager itself here so I can actually see what's going on over my other monitor. Oh my goodness, it feels like it's been a while since the last stream, but the last stream was on Saturday as per usual. Pretty fun storm chases too. Outbreak's really been rolling some good scenarios. And some scary scenarios. I took way more risks than I should have this past Saturday. But focusing more on today. So today we're going to be going over the patch notes, which will probably not even take 5 minutes because there's only like 2 things. I haven't really changed that much. There is something that I'm working on in the background, but it is currently in like prototype stage, so I can't really put anything in the patch notes about that yet. You know, it's sort of it's going to be like a nod to anybody who's subscribed per month, and I'll be like running it at the end of a stream. Sorry, not the end of a stream, at the end of the month, or the last stream of the month, something like that. A cool little thank you thing. Problem is, I want to make the visuals. I want to hand make the visuals, some of them. I think the Christmas ones, I'll just use the bulbs that get thrown. But for areas where I don't really have a particular theme or resources available, for instance, November, I don't really have anything unique to November. I have to like hand make stuff. And I figure, you know what, maybe November can just be like a few vegetable crops or something like that, because the US does their harvesting stuff in November. October is Canadian Thanksgiving, but more importantly, Halloween is shared, so Halloween takes precedence over Thanksgiving. Sorry, Thanksgiving, you're getting shafted because Halloween is also in the same month. So yeah, fun things like that. I'm just, that's early. Technically, I have a function on Firebot for it right now, but it's not going to work as it should. I think right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the text to stay centered over the image, and it really doesn't want to in OBS. Also, OBS's grouping thing really sucks. If you move any objects in the grouping container and it's the furthest right or the furthest up, it will change the size of the entire box, which is really, really annoying. And it also prevents me from assigning negative values. So I'm trying to get it to work with group containers. Unfortunately, because of how dumb this works at OBS, it also means Firebot has a really hard time working with it. So I'm trying to figure a workaround without ungrouping all the sources, because I want them to stay nice and organized in a folder, and I want to be able to disable what I'm not using on OBS. My OBS, like, the amount of sources on each scene keeps growing, so it becomes more and more important as that list grows to properly disable things you're not using. So you don't have too many things running at the same time, because that will send your RAM usage rocketing. You don't want to be doing that. This computer may have 64 gigabytes of RAM, but oh my goodness, I don't want to be making OBS's RAM usage a heavy bloat. It also makes it harder for OBS to actually handle things. The cat doesn't like the fact that I started talking. I think you want to leave? Oh my goodness. Are you sure you want to leave? You're looking back. Do you want to leave or do you not? It looks like she's uncertain right now. She's looking back, like... I have to keep the door closed, so do you want to be back in or do you not? She's meowing at me. By the way, her meows are very quiet, so the microphone, I can guarantee you, is not going to pick up on it. She doesn't meow often. She's not very vocal all the time here, but when she does, it's like basically we got her when she was young, and she maintained that young little meow the whole time. Okay. Now she's walked down the hallway, so now I think she's not planning on coming back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh kitty. She was looking out the window, and then shortly after I started talking, she's like, to be fair though, she looks up at out the window for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then she is done looking out the window. That appears to be the sufficient amount of time for her. So this is roughly around the time when she leaves from the window. Aqua, welcome on in. Congrats on claiming second and maintaining an impressive attendance rate of 96.7%. 29 sessions. Oh my goodness. Wow, Twitch alerts. You took a little while to register that. I don't... That is a Twitch alert, by the way. That's not even Firebot. So I don't know what's going on with Twitch alerts with that one. I don't have the sound effect for... the Twitch alerts thing is not in the intro screen. So if you claim something there, it actually doesn't show up. Which, that's the stream starting soon anyways, but yeah, maybe I'll implement it in there. Problem is, with that, the intro, the pre-intro music is actually louder in general. So the sound effects would have a hard time competing with the music. And unfortunately, I have not found a way to get auto-ducking working with sources here. OBS apparently has that function. I tried setting it up sometime during the summer here when I was experimenting with things, and it just doesn't like to work. So, can't really do much about that. If I got auto-ducking to work, we would... the game audio there... I would have the gameplay audio in the auto-ducking and all that. Where the game audio gets quieter when you start speaking, and then the volume gradually ramps back to where it was before if I go a period of time without speaking. Which happens whenever I get focused on a game. Hey, look at that. We got a 5 streak. One day, Firebolt will have support for that. Now that it's left beta, I am 97% sure that it is now on the development team's radar. Just keep in mind, the Firebot development team is also they're entirely volunteer run, so I don't know when their next big update is coming out. One of their team members hinted at a number of really cool things, and I saw a hint at a timer widget of some sort that's built into Firebot. I'm excited for that. I don't like this timer. I'm not a big fan of it. And the old timer we had before this, we used to actually be able to run up to 3 timers. It was terribly inefficient, so it was impractical to keep using it. Anything new going on? We're about to go over the patch notes here, actually. I mean, there's no, huge changes. I only made, 2 little changes. A Firebot here. I'm not sure when Firebot will be updated. There's no ETA on that yet, but, the developers, the way they said, it's whenever we feel like it's ready, then we prepare to roll it out, pretty much. Oh, I don't think it'll take that long. That's how long it takes for cities to get their construction complete. Oh my goodness. At the least, it should be sooner than when I finally get the Book of Mario 64 highlights out. Because yes, that's still... To be fair, I have converted it to the new editor now, so now I can work within the new editor. So that obstacle is out of my way. I've also completed an additional chapter finally. When we'll finally release it, I don't know. Maybe it'll be by the new year. Maybe it'll be by the next new year. It's whenever I have enough time to open up that project. Although I gotta say, some of the editing tools are a little easier to work with in DaVinci overall. So yeah, it could be a lot. It could be a lot of fun. It's really easy to assign vectors in DaVinci too. So I'm gonna bring us over here, and I'm gonna get the editor opened. We're gonna close that. I'm going to push the button that changes the segment. We're going to change there. There we go. That's all changed. Get the editor open. And we'll try to remember where we left off. I want to be doing this whole process on stream this time. Especially since I did not plan the Xenoblade Chronicles thing properly, and we ended way sooner than anticipated as a result. Okay. It looks like it is not in my recent files, so I'm going to have to scroll down here and see if I can find it. Boo Shy Bat. Yes, I think I know what I was working on back then. Here we go. Krista High Five. Yes. I think I remember where we were. It was the many Kristas. Now, I'm just going to sneak over to the other scene here, and I'm going to turn on the, excuse me? Excuse me? Why is it doing that? This is in studio mode, is it not? Oh, hold on. Okay. It's changing the scene prematurely, but only on the Discord projector, apparently. Which means I am capturing the preview. Okay, computer, draw layer. There we go. Everything will show up properly now when we change over there. Get out of studio mode here, and now we can go over here and look at the multi-handed Krista, because all the frames are visible at the same time. So we're going to take a look at this one frame at a time. Where's frame 1? Why is frame 1 not here? Hold on, I can find frame 1. Or did we get rid of frame 1? Let me take a look. Characters, animations. Not that Krista animation. Oh, this Krista's scaled differently. Oh, you know why? You know why I chose to do it this way? Hold on. It's because frame 1 will be involved in stage 3, and that'll be like Krista jumping into the screen. We don't really need to provide any other animations. We'll just have her jump into the screen, and then, yeah, do the high five thing. However, we do need to see one frame at a time here, so let me just toggle these all off. The main screen is on. Okay, so I think it was Landon animation. Yeah, Landon animation. Okay. I definitely have to do some movement around here. Because this is supposed to be roughly where she lands. Gotta do this without... No, I'd like to see the edge boundary here, because... yeah, exactly. That's why. Gotta zoom into Krista's butt here. We gotta make sure that the entire model is actually there. Frame 5, we gotta move forward. We gotta move all the frames forward now as a result, I'm pretty sure. Can't have one frame randomly. No. I do not. No vertical movement. Thank you. Here, I'm going to get rid of the last few ones so I can just compare it to the previous frame. And we got to move Krista forward a little. Roughly there. And then we got to start move. We got to move this Krista forward. We got to move all of them forward. I wish I could multi-select the layers and move them that way, but you have to actually link them one by one. Which, yeah, I think a quality of life would be very useful for that. Now, however, this is the Krista part of the high five animation. Also, Krista's wrist like this. I think I said this last time we were animating this, but it sort of like looks like she's doing the paw motion, like meow. This is like preparing to pet somebody or preparing to paw at them playfully. Both of which I could see Krista doing that. Meow. Hey, exclamation mark meow is a command, right? Right. Maybe. Krista Yan animation. Oh my goodness, we could definitely get away with it with that kind of hand posture. Wait, what was I just gonna check? I moved something over and I was just going to check something. Oh, I was gonna get the frame references. No, I was not. Also, did we get the sectoral leaders animation too for high five? Oh, good. Yes, we did. We don't even have to move him that much because he's tall. That's something we also have to keep in mind. We're going to have to do some offset because Krista is shorter. So it's actually supposed to be her like jumping up for the high five to some extent. Thankfully, I had the sectoral leader's hand somewhat lower for the high five motion, I think. Okay. Oh, that's right. We should have some music running in the background, too. Now, I do know how to pull this off. I actually have to remove the video player from one of the sources here, and then I have to add it to the other. This way, I can put it onto a layer. So YouTube, you're not going to hear the music when I get it set up here. There we go. Get it added here. Unmute this layer. And then with this, I can set it over here. Make sure the proper music is playing. Oh. Oh, I just have a harder time hearing it, apparently. It's quieter for me for some reason. I mean, this part's really quiet anyways. We're going to keep it at about this volume. Just a little background music to mess around with while we are animating the Krista. Again, YouTube, you're not going to hear that part, so just, heads up. I can't hear the music you're talking about. What music? It's just don't worry, it's just a music in my head. Okay. I gotta make sure to move the Y position there is as 0. Oh no. Krista's tail's getting close to the cutoff point. Wait, what is going on with these frames? Something seems a little weird about these. I gotta make sure it says (0) when the move action happens down here. I don't want the vertical position changing. And then I'm gonna find out later. I initially designed this so that some of Krista is supposed to be underneath the frame. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if I did that. It should be good. I have noticed, though, that overall, these frame-by-frames, I've noticed some improvement. Probably because I'm getting better at making the movements smaller and smaller. When you're frame-by-frame animating, you want to make your movements slower, not too sudden. And then you've got the camera zoom in stuff that I always have to mess around with too. Wait, what's going on here? I accidentally released it when it said when there was a change on the y-axis. Why are some of these shifted forward and some of these not? Okay. It was probably inconsistent camera. That's probably what it was. No -1. It looks like that part of her dress did not move at all, so I can just use that as an anchor point. Yep. Line up the crista. We line up that cutie so that she can get that high five in. And then when we get to the third stage where we actually animate it into a probably into an MP4 file. Now her hand is up and like ready for a high five there. Also, dang, her position changes a little here, so I think I have to offset her again because of that. Oh, you know what? Not as much as I thought. It feels like the camera angle changed a little here. Like, what's going on between here? Is she done her high five already? Oh, yes, she is. So that was the high five then. This right here was her high five. And then she's supposed to gently like lower her hand from where it was. No bounce off or anything like that. I think the sectoral leader's the one who did the bounce with the high five. A little bit of a bounce. That's called style. Krista just reaching up for that high five. How many frames did I make this? I made this 26 frames, apparently. And I might make the contact part of the high five hold for 10 frames? 5 frames, 10 frames? We'll find out what works. Oh, maybe not 5 frames. That might be too brief. Maybe it'll be 10 frames. Just a little contact lag. Oh, this one's pretty easy. I just gotta line up Krista's front side here. Gotta line up the, never mind. As Krista would call them, line up the pillows. Anyway, that's what Krista calls them. She calls them pillows. Hey, I could get away with that. Honestly, it feels sort of like some of the terminologies that Krista's invented are just subtle censorship that's like, no, Krista's completely innocent. Very much appropriate for, well, 13 plus. Even though she's ridden the line on certain Thursdays. Whoa, what is up with the difference between this frame, though? What happened here? Okay, this one might need a vertical adjustment. Her tail is not clipping. This is the good news. Her tail is not clipping at the top. Yeah, be careful when you're talking to Krista about pillows and trying to seem innocent. She might take it a different way. Okay, her hand is down here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower things a little. And then we're going to do a move. Oh, you know what? I could line up her waist. Is it just me or is Krista a little smaller in this frame? Since when do any of us try to act innocent? I mean, hey, Krista can be a little convincing sometimes. Especially with how she says some of the things. Sometimes she's just like, ah, yes, pillows. She just says it like it's an everyday thing. Like the same way things you can say make Sailor blush. Oh my goodness. I don't think it's just me. I think Krista is actually smaller in this one. Just in this one, apparently. What was the shortcut for scale? Nope, not that one. Oh, there is no shortcut. Well, technically there is. I go Alt. Apparently Alt doesn't do anything. Alt. L. Hold Alt. Ah, there we go. Hold Alt. Hold Alt L. And S. There we go. And we need a little more height here. I'm gonna say, how about 1050? That's not the way I expected it to scale. That's not enough, actually. Okay. Alt-L-S. Yeah, that's a nice fast way to make it appear. How about 1200? That's 1200. Okay. No. 1200 is too much. Alt-L-S. 1150. 50, not 80. $1100? I thought I already tried 1100 and it wasn't enough. Nope, 1100 is what I'm looking for. Why was that one Krista smaller? Wait a minute. Oh, something is way off here. What is up with frame 14 here? Why is she longer? Everything about her is longer there. Wait. This would be a good way to compare it to. Yes, comparing pillow sizes, exactly. That's how you confirm things here. So everything about this is. That was a party hat. No, you see, like arm length here is telling me like something is up here. Maybe I should move her. No, not that far forward. We'll line up her chest. That's where we'll line it up. Yeah, her posture changes a little there. Well, anyway, what does this one look like? That's workable. We have to set her back over here, though. Okay. Now it should just be a matter of lining things up again. One more pixel. I might move the whole body because it looks way too stiff there. Not enough things move here. That's my problem with this. Frame 16 looks too stiff. What if I skip what if I skip frame 16? It'll result in her arm moving a little fast, but honestly, it might be for the better. Oh my goodness, we heard this music not that long ago, actually. Just last week, actually. Here, I'm turning this up a little. Sorry, YouTube, you won't get to hear it. The final visit to Prison Island. Also, hold on. When does that clip-in happen? I might just manually fix that a little. We might just use a smudge tool. I'm fixing your material, Krista. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Okay, that's good. That's like a little smudge tool to fix things. Okay. Unfortunately, oh, not that frame. We already said that frame is a no-go. Because, yeah. Oh, actually, hold on. Okay. I don't think I have her body move very much from that frame forward, so I guess we'll keep it for now then. If we need to move her just a little to add a little energy to her, we could do that in the third stage. Honestly, I didn't even need to use a smudge tool for this one. I just needed to use the color picker and overwrite that one pixel. Hold on, is she off by one pixel? Nope, apparently not. Okay. Had to make sure. I might give her a little bit of a vector in stage 3. Looks like it's mostly the slightly darker shade of red over here, so... Well, up to a point. Okay. Now let's turn it down before the playlist decides to randomly choose something that's twice as loud. Oh, this one starts really quiet, so... Where'd the music go? It just starts really quiet. I think I did this raid. It's a Final Fantasy 14 raid. And I believe it was the... I think this was one of the last Eden raids? Which is based off of the Final Fantasy VIII final boss theme. Oh, we gotta fix it here too. We got an offset we gotta correct as well. Oh, hey! Her whole body does move a little here. Good. We're probably gonna have to correct this a lot. Okay, this is not correcting very well. Hold on. Oh, well, that'd explain it. Oh, much better. There we go. As she slowly lowers her arm. As she slowly lowers her arm. Krista. I don't know, does something. I don't know where I was hoping to go with that. Little, oh my goodness. You know, that very well could be a valid stream where I just, like, put together a story and read it aloud. A Krista story. No. No guarantee to just be a Krista story. Cody, tell me a story.
Kaboom!
Kaboom! That's exactly what Kaboom does. And anyone who's played Wind Waker will know exactly where that's from, because it's a very memorable one. By the way, I think Wind Waker is on the calendar for next year. Thought it was familiar. I can't... Do I still not have the calendar fully configured next year? Well, I can look at the index. I have the full index of what I'm streaming this year. Yes, I pointed at Notepad and Windows was like, search? No. Not search. "4 days of Christmas." No. It's January. Yep, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. The Wind Waker. Sorry, there is a "the" in there. It'll be the HD one, and it'll be on the Wii U. Because I'm not buying a game again. Don't know why I did that. Although, technically, Wind Waker is available on Virtual Console service, but that's the original one. I think the Wind Waker one will be fun because you can you can motorboat across the whole sea with the sail once you get the upgrade. Motorboat across the sea, just to be more specific. We're not talking about any other kind of... Yeah. Okay, no. There we go. I have to use Krista's butt as a reference for, right where her tail... By the way, that's like one of the most dangerous areas to touch Krista. Do not touch her there. There's a very high chance of getting charmed. So I want to make a comment about Ganondorf. Oh no. The upgrade is so much fun. Yeah, rocketing across the sea. Tush upgrade is so much fun. You know, Krista would agree. Krista could definitely agree with that. Tush upgrade. Right as I talk about using Krista's... Thanks for the fish. That might actually jump scare me if done at the right moment. It's actually a little louder than the other redeems. Most dangerous area of Krista, right here. Right near tail base. It's because her tail texture, it starts... You can't really see it on here, but it actually starts, a little rough. And then this is roughly where she would say the safe zone. The area where you don't get charmed if you get hit by it. And then it gets more and more comfy towards... It's a texture sort of thing. And that's why Krista does not let people touch her tail. She doesn't want to charm people. She's looking to pair out couples, not draw people towards her. That's not her aim. She loves the heck out of hugs, though. So, give her a hug. Oh, that's right. And then Krista, just casually breaks the fourth wall. Don't worry about it. That's what it's all about. Krista knows. Krista knows about the people watching. Again, her arm's sort of in the way, so I have to use her butt as a reference once again. Or her tail base, I guess. That's more like her tail base. The most dangerous part of Krista. You would think there's another part of Krista that's more dangerous. No. That's the most dangerous part of Krista. Oh my goodness, we have an Inkasaurus Rex in chat. Hello. Big hug. Everybody gets a big hug.
Did you like that?
There's your big Krista hug. Krista does hug pretty strong, but she intentionally keeps her hugs lighter because she doesn't want to break people's bones. Thanks for sending Krista to hug everybody, Aqua. So far, things are pretty good over here. Having a lot of fun doing our creative stream here. I'm glad I was able to find a back out. I felt in danger there. It could be a pretty dangerous hug, yes. Krista is considerably taller, so surprisingly, like looking back on this animation, it seems I did think about Krista's height relative to the camera. She's actually pretty tall. So far, things are pretty darn good over here. We got a good temperature outside. And we're supposed to have a pretty nice temperature. I mean, by nice temperature, I mean 13, 14 degrees Celsius. Sad I missed the hug because the stream was weird for Wi-Fi on... Oh, Wi-Fi on... Yeah, Wi-Fi on campus. That's understandable. Wi-Fi in general, I find, gets really finicky. Especially if there's a lot of access points nearby. That's why I don't use Wi-Fi here. I find it too unreliable and subject to interference. There's only so many wireless channels available before the overlap gets worse and worse. Which is why I don't like printers that have their own access point on them. Like those HP printers with the access point just for printing to the printer. Why? That's an extra Wi-Fi channel being used for one device. It gets much worse if you're near an apartment and you see all those access points there. Well, if you actually take a look at the... some computers, I guess it depends on what hardware you have have a little, like, wireless detection thing where you can take a look at the channels of the surrounding access points. I find that Auto doesn't always do a very good job at selecting the correct Wi-Fi channel. I want to select the channel furthest away from other people's Wi-Fi so that there's minimal overlap. And also, Wi-Fi is not quite as fast. I mean, it's getting there. Like, 5G does open up more opportunities. It also opens up more concerns, considering how often it's being used near aviation airspaces, but it opens up more opportunities, too. Why is this so quiet? It's like minus 50 on the audio mixer. It's like barely registering. It's weird because I have the players set to level things, like make things that are a little quieter. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have that enabled. Player settings, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's not where I find it. Maybe it's found on the now playing screen. Oh, audio volume level in controls. Let me check here. I thought I had audio volume level in on. I don't. Now it's on. Okay, I did not have that on. There we go. Now we can minimize this, set this over here. There we go. Okay, we're good. I noticed it get a little louder. So it's like, that's about right. Now I should be able to keep it at the same volume here. And not have to worry about a soundtrack suddenly being loud. Yay, the following frames don't have clip-in over here. I don't have to manually patch Krista. The Krista patch. Now, here, Krista's arm is in the way of both points. Okay, so now I need to use a backup point. Krista's chest? Sorry, Krista's pillows? Not really. Oh! The upper part of Krista's tail. Here we go. Okay. No. Wait. What? Any size difference? Nope. I wish Chris's tail would move more. Now, unfortunately, the tail is just an accessory in the in VTuber Studio, so, and I cannot manually move her tail without editing her whole model. Yes, I probably wouldn't have this issue if I was like animating Krista in, I don't know, Unreal Engine or something like that, but I don't know how to do that. If I did, I'm telling you, some of these animations would probably look really good. Unfortunately, I don't. I don't even have Unreal set up, and I'd probably be incredibly confused if I did have it set up. All right, Krista, let's get you breaking the fourth wall, as Caristas do. She's looking at you. She knows you're there. But I mean, would it really be bad to get a high five from Krista? I don't think so. I think a high five would be just fine. Oh. I think her body moved a little here. She's beginning to wink. Okay. That looks pretty decent. You know, again, aside from her tail not moving at all, I really wish I could get her tail to move. Hey, you know what? Maybe that'll be my next post-season project, is learning Unreal. I don't know. Depends on what I'm doing by then. That is not Erie Island. That is, like, opposite of. Her body sometimes stops. There is a few little details that I'm missing out here. I just don't want to have to, like, redo the frames. I don't know. Maybe this will not be, like, the most smooth animation. Wait, how is she going to exit? How the heck is she going to exit? Oh, that's right. I said she was going to pop out of the screen as she always does. She's gonna duck down because she always seems to do that. Poof of smoke. Oh my goodness. Find a nice little gif of smoke, have her vanish. Unfortunately, Krista is not a ninja class. Okay, so now we got this all taken care of. Let me go back over here. And we're going to have to do a rename of every single one of these. Which means I have to go press that button. Layer name. Frame. Frame 3. Do I have to put a space in these when I'm putting frame number in? I'm trying to remember. I'm going to find out later that it doesn't even matter how you label these. It'll be each layer is one frame. let me copy that part. And then do this. And then do this. Control V. Seriously? Lazy key. Oh. Apparently the clipboard just doesn't feel like doing things sometimes. Just imagine she ducks down and all you see is the tip of her tail. Oh my goodness. The tail leap. Ah, Krista. I would have to generate new frames to do that, though. I would have to go back into the editor and do some step ones for that, but I like that concept. Oh, hold on. Right. No, not Control E, not Control E. Control E is export. It's Menu E. There we go. Now the clipboard's actually working. I'll gradually get faster at this. There we go. I need to stop pressing that button. Why does export image take so long to load? What folder is it in? Is it in the downloads folder? Downloads folder is the only one that takes decades to load. I just press Control C. $11. Gee, I wonder which. What soundtrack could this be? The Curb, the Bee? This would definitely get copyright claimed on YouTube. The old Sonic soundtracks were always copyright claimed. See, now I'm getting faster at renaming this. Although you can't really see the renaming process because it's just outside of the visible screen there. Frame 25. Oh, frame 25 is as far as we go. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? Honestly, frame 1 and frame 2 are a little too jarring here. I'm going to adjust frame 1. There's a frame before this we're going to be animating too. And I'm just going to save because this image editor is usually stable, but I've had it mysteriously crash on me before. I see that clipping. Also, what the hell is this? Why is frame 7 so crappy looking there? Oh, wait a minute. No, 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 no. I think it's because she does a little bit of a bounce before she does that. Okay. Okay, we got more clipping I gotta get rid of, though. I'm just gonna press undo because it was selected in the wrong frame. You know what? This is not a smudge tool. This is going to be a paint tool. And I'm going to do a selection here so that we don't accidentally overlap the color here. Of course. Then I pressed the escape key. We'll use the wand tool to get rid of the purple selection that gets selected then. There we go. Well, now we can use this no problem. No, I don't want any purple bleeding in here. And once again, let's do a little select around this zone. There we go. Unselect that. Now we can get away with this a little more. No purple. Ah, screw it. You know what? We're using the paintbrush tool. Smudge tool's pulling colors from out of bounds here, so we're just not going to do that. This area is a little lighter, so we'll put a bit of a lighter paint on it. Ah, it should be good. Yeah, I had better results with the painting tool, so we're just going to use the painting tool for this whole thing. Imagine if... Oh my goodness. A 5 streak. There we go, Hemlock. You get your extra 450 silver pieces from that. Forgot to do the streak thing. Everybody's reaching their 5 streaks. Also, we're getting a heads up for ads. I'll keep working on this while the ads roll in. You shouldn't miss too much, though. We're probably going to be doing this for a few more frames, because I'm pretty sure the clip-in problem happens in multiple areas. This area is slightly darker, so I'm just going to give this a little spread. How does it... That looks so seamless. How did I do that? What? Sheesh. Usually there's some sort of evidence. Now, the downside to this, I don't think you can see it, but the color... Oh, the color palette is not totally messed up, actually. I thought it was going to be full of slightly different shades of red because of the auto select that I was doing. But it only has 2 different shades for some reason. Okay, frame 8. Oh yeah, let me minimize things on this window here. There we go. Twitch, why would you let me know about that stuff in the middle of a stream? Seriously? In Twitch notifications. No! Frame 8. Why? Like, please select the frame that I'm actually working on. Right about there. Nope, not that button. It's a little close to the edge, so I don't want to be clipping the purple out. We have a little bit of a... We have a weather report going on again. 13.1 now, 55.6 Fahrenheit, dew point of minus 1.3, 29.7. Feels like 10.8. We got a notable feels like 51.4 Fahrenheit. Winds at 16 kilometers an hour. That's 10 miles per hour. With gusts of 32. So the winds are picking up. Which makes sense. We are supposed to have moderate gusts in a lot of areas today. Especially as the pressure grade begins to rack up across the prairie region here. At 32 kilometers an hour, which is 20 miles per hour. Gusts are double of the average wind right now. How many frames? You know the neat part? There's no controller to... there's no slider for this particular part of the uniform. So I can't even fix this problem. And again, it didn't automatically select frame 11, even though frame 11 is the most foreground one that I have visible. Welcome back from Mads, everybody. We're just fixing the constant clipping issues that are happening all the time, apparently. This one looks a little blurrier, probably because we had to do a bit of scaling. We didn't even check to see how jarring everything was. Hold on. let's go back to the frame before we got distracted. Recovering from landed animation, getting up. Oh, you know what happened here? Offset. In fact, this offset. I think we said something about we'll fix that in a later stage when we were doing this stage 1. Oh my goodness, that looks drastically better between those two frames. Okay. Ooh, what's going on here, though? Why is Krista suddenly moving back? I was considering her arm position, so I guess she is intentionally moving back. Oh, by the way, the frame here, where it makes contact, we're going to add a parameter here. I believe all I got to do is specify... Oh, everything's going to be 10 frame delay, right? Maybe. No, wait, that might make a super fast high five. We'll make it a 20 frame, and then this one we'll say 40 ms, 40 milliseconds. If I can type. Krista tilt. Wait. She straightens out her back. Why does she shrink here? She looks like she shrinks here. Hold on, right here, frame 14. But because I don't want to adjust the scale of like all of these up here, so maybe we could just make some sort of between scale. It might like make this look a little less stiff too. In doing so. Alt L S. And then we go, 1020. Make her grow just a little. You know the problem with that? We scaled too well. I think we just scaled to the exact same size that the previous Krista was at. And then we'll go 1010. And then we're going to go Alt LS. 1000. Very slight. And then what we're going to do with frame 25 is I think I'm going to import frame 25 into stage 3. And then have her depart that way. The only problem is, if we do that funny tail thing... Oh, we could just have her keep going the same direction she was going in. You know what? We could do that. Instead of having her turn around, because if she's turning around, I'm going to have to animate that. If I try to do it on the video editing software, I will have to do a 2D flip. Which I've done that before. Okay, so export parameters. You won't be able to see this window. This window's captured separately. By the way, it's the animations folder that's taken a long time to load. Let me see why. It might have something to do with the number of items. There's 706 items in this folder. It might have something to do with the amount of items in the folder, I think. Look at all those Cristas. Look at all those cute Cristas. Oh, there's a lot of frame-by-frame animations in this folder, so... I might need to split them into 2 separate ones. They don't even take a giant amount of space, really. They take less than a megabyte per frame most of the time. Except for Krista's 7th animation, some of that takes... Oh, you know what? I think that's because that's the hammer animation. There was extra objects in that. Krista High 5. You know what? I think that's exactly what we're going to call it. Krista High 5.gif. Make sure it's a GIF file. Get our fun little... Yeah, crop, I know. As animation. Hey, it's checked by default now. It used to be unchecked by default. Like, why would you save a GIF if you're not going to animate it? That's the whole purpose of a GIF. It also defaults to replace. You know what? I think it actually remembers your previous setting now. So we said we're going to make our delay 20 milliseconds. 1 frame per layer replaced. That sounds good to me. Okay, now we have to wait a little. Oh, you can't even see the mouse. I thought I had the mouse visible in this scene. There we go. We got saved. Now we gotta see how it looks. I gotta scroll up to where it is. Krista High 5. I think it's too fast. That's a very fast Krista. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's try this again. Export as, and then we do this. I gotta wait. Zoom very fast. That's Krista doing a high 5 after she's had a liter of vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream is her favorite. But she gets extremely hyper after it. You'll probably go on a hugging spree. A liter. I'm not sure, you know. Maybe Krista could deal with a liter of ice cream. Full tub of ice cream. Thought you were gonna say caffeine. No. Oh no, I wouldn't. I don't think Krista would subject herself to that. Okay. So there's no high 5, there's no lag on contact because we set the frame, the contact frame to 40 milliseconds, so you can't even tell it exists here. So we've got to make that change. This looks good. Again, we're going to be animating the vector so that Krista actually moves to do the thing. Krista, do not take this out of context. I think what we're going to do is we're going to set the contact frame to 100 milliseconds. Okay, let's try this one more time. Again, after I wait for the folder to load, because it has over 700 items in it. Crop. Yep. You know, I'm beginning to wonder if that's why half of my Twitch thumbnails don't ever upload because they're over 1 megabyte, because it's not cropping the image. You know what? No, that's probably not the case. I think it's just because Twitch's 1 megabyte upload limit for thumbnails is ridiculous. I'm sneaking in some hydration. If you haven't hydrated in a while, I highly recommend doing so. Okay, let's take a look at it now. Okay, it'll look even better once we, Twitch likes to Twitch a lot, it definitely does. So yeah, we got that little high five leg going on there, that's perfect. I think, did we already get the sectoral leaders high five thing, or did we not? I don't think we did. Wait, sectoral leader high five. Yes, we did. And it was at 40. It was at a speed of 40, just like Chris does. I should have probably kept that in mind too. Let's keep the frame advancement speed the same. Otherwise, sectoral leaders look so much smoother. Oh my goodness. But I mean, the sectoral leader's also not making a movement or anything like that. It'll be an animation conducted from the corner here. That looks so much better than Chris's. Chris's will look better after we're done stage 3. Also, let me make sure I don't have any stray frames. Okay, good. No stray frames. Now it's time to get the editor open. We're going to close that. And we're going to get the editor up and open. Yeah. Up and open. I think I already have a file for the high five animation. Let me make sure I do. Thankfully, it'll load on the main monitor first, so I don't have to have my other projects showing. Not that there's anything to really hide. There really isn't anything to... really isn't anything to hide. See? Look! Book of Mario highlights. 1 year. Eventually. Okay, but we want to load the high five animation. Book of Mario 64 highlights. 1 year later. Way more than 1 year at this point. Did I not? Hold on. I don't need to have these in separate folders anymore. This was the old way we were going to do this. We're not doing it the old way. Let's just remove that. We're going to remove these. We don't even need the subfolders anymore. We're using GIFs. Let me just remove the bins. We'll just settle for a master here. And we're going to select that animation from the other monitor. And we're going to select this animation. And then we've got to get a rough idea of where the heck to put this image again. Okay, we gotta shrink. We gotta place you over. Maybe a little bigger. I don't know. It's a little hard to figure out. This might take a little experimenting. Do I have a? Do I? You know what I could use? I could use a template screenshot of where my stream elements normally are, so that I know where my VTuber usually is. Also, this animation, none of these animations are going to take into account whether I'm wearing the Halloween outfit or not, because then I have to create the same animation again, but with a different costume. So, they'll probably end up swapping costumes when we do this. Wow, I guess that's another reason why I should maybe learn how to animate this in Unreal, right? Because then I could create a custom animation instruction in Unreal and import it into this software. Because this software does support... I didn't check to see what file format you need to use for the animation instructions, but it supports custom animations. If I can remember where to find that. Oh, I think that's in the full settings window. Motion. And wait. Yeah, where's custom? Oh, it would be custom here. Yes. And then I have to translate the entire thing because the page is in Japanese. Unity? Really? I have to use Unity? Can I use Unreal and export it as a specific file? Like, that'd be nice. Why is my character nodding so much? Hey, stop nodding. I'm not nodding. I think it's because I had it selected and it was previewing it. Like, please don't do that. Okay. Requires work in Unity. I don't want to use Unity. I want to use I would much rather use or learn in Unreal. I feel like it'd be easier. I just hear Unity has a lot of built-in limitations. Infinite nod. No more infinite nods. It must be recognized by Unity 2019.4.14F1. You just really agree with what you're saying. Yeah, apparently. Loop animation is not supported. That's fine. That's fine. The avatar's root pose and lower body motions are not applied. Boo. That's lame. I don't like that. Another reason why I don't like using Unity. There's just too much limitations. Why is imported motion such a pain in the arse? I don't know. Maybe this will ultimately result in me using a different VTuber software too. I do have a few other ones on hand. It's just they have limitations. I just have one that that covers it all. Well, anyway, that's something to consider later. For now, we're focusing on our animation. It actually looks pretty good. Well, I already said it looks pretty good, but... Oh. I don't have a hold the last frame. I don't have a hold the last frame. That's a problem too, because then the GIF will immediately try to loop. I don't think I'd have to hold it for very long. I could set like a 500 millisecond on the last frame. I mean, it won't matter if I have it animate here anyways. I could set the MP4 to not loop. This timeline here, also, I can rename this. Oh, never mind. No. Cody Krista, exactly. It's a Cody Krista one. His name is Cody, and his last name is Krista. Okay. Second video layer here. I'm not going to do a very good job with the height here, am I? We got a bit of a challenge here. Now, we did say frame 1 of Krista is being imported into here separately, so let me grab frame 1, and we're going to drag frame 1 in. So we're going to, I don't know, I'm going to put the Krista GIF part over there. Of course, the default is 5 seconds. She's on a stroll, yeah. Dang, this is going to be done really fast. How fast is this? Wow. Sector leader's timing is this actually pretty reasonable right there. Oh, by the way, this is the yeah, this is the Glitz Pit part 2. But this is the GameCube version, which was still pretty good. I like the additions they made to the Glitz Pit part 2, Mysteries of the Glitz Pit in the remaster. I did not like part 1. Part 1 was I feel like they changed the theme too dramatically. Maybe that was a theme they were trying to originally convey, but I feel it was too jarring of a change. It was actually my least liked soundtrack. The Glitz Pit, the outside area, and the inside area for part 1 of chapter 3 was one of my least liked soundtracks. It's just too dramatic of a change. It really got rid of that bopping part, that bop. Maybe I could keep the sectoral leader on frame 1 for a little bit while Krista, like, maybe as Krista lands and approaches, that'll be what we do. First of all, Krista's going to start off frame here, so. However, I would like her to land... No, hold on. Where is frame 1 of a sectoral leader? We're gonna hold frame 1 for a little. And which animation is that too? Also, not that one. That one is the explode animation. Frame. Not frame 16. What is frame 16? Have I added that animation yet? Hold on. Animation. I think that's the deadpan. Yes, I have. I have added it. Oh my goodness. Why did I even forget that I have that animation? That's the clap animation. Ah, there we go. I think it's this one. Well, speaking of Paper Mario music, this is Paper Mario music. The ghost toad on the train in Chapter 6. Nice spooky music too. And the ghost that will go through with his threat if you dare read the diary. That's not an empty threat right there. Okay, frame 1. I found frame 1. I wish it would not default to 5 seconds, because then I have to, like, throw everything over here, and then, like, ah, yes, and now I have to resize everything. Now, actually, I want everyone to... Let's not do that. Let's not toss this around too much, because then we accidentally run over some of the GIF frames because of how DaVinci behaves sometimes. See, now I can use a reference point. I think that's a perfect... Hold on. Nope, I'm very close. I see that very tiny movement right there. $8.98. We got 2 pixels. We were 2 pixels off. Okay, now we can bring Krista over here. And I think when she's about to land, that is roughly where I want. The GIF will start about here. Krista still high fives too early. Which means we want the sectoral leader to start a little earlier. Ah. So we don't have to lag to start in animation very much. She's still, yeah, pretty much. I will have to change her size. She's, like, canonically, the sectoral leader's notably taller than Krista. Is the last frame not showing on the high five animation? On the sectoral leader's high five animation? It is. It's just showing very briefly. Okay. Would have been better if I just told the animation to hold on the last frame for a little while, but that's fine. We can just drag in the last frame here. And we're going to set this to 8.5 as well. 0.85. She almost looks like she's making fun of Marine short. See, she probably wouldn't be shy to point that out if it ever happened. She's so used to being shorter than the sectoral leader. Position 898 minus 256. Wait, 898? Yep. And minus 236. What? Why am I getting different results from that? Because I flipped the 5 and the 8. Good job, you dyslexic brain. Not 8.5, 5.8. Okay, now this is where we got to adjust Krista's scale. I think we got a point where they high five at the same time. Hold on. The point where they high five is going to be my point of reference here. So Krista, you're going to get shrunk down a little. We're going to bring your x-axis down over here. Yeah, but most of Krista isn't showing. Hold on. She's got to be a little larger. As funny as it would be to have a zoom of 0.69 for Krista, that's a little too small. Why is her hand so small? And there's her wake animation. You know what I could... Oh my goodness, you know what I could do at this point here? Instead of having him stare into the void, while Chris is doing this, I could swap back to the actual VTuber model. So the VTuber model just keeps continuing on with the animation while this animation concludes. I don't usually do it that way, but we can do it that way. I just got to adjust Firebutt's timing a little when it comes to executing the animation. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. Now, I got to keep these zoom settings in mind here. So 0.970. 0.9770. There we go. Position's not going to matter. We ultimately want Krista to be here. What a power... by the way, what a power position. Look at her hold her fists up like this. She's ready to guard. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I wanted her to start out of the screen initially. However, let me focus on the last frame. The last frame is going to be what matters here. I want the last frame to be similar to where Krista begins her animation. Which means, just for now, we're going to overlap these a little. Okay, Y position, we're gonna set her down here. Why is she smaller in the GIF? Or sorry, in this frame. What's going on here? Okay, never mind. I think we're gonna need to adjust the zoom for this frame for some reason. I think it's just because it's a different resolution compared to the other frames. She shrunk. Yeah, apparently. By the way, that'd be a very scary ability. I wouldn't... don't give Krista that ability. Also, her X position might actually wind up being 666 at the end of this. I didn't know Krista had ties to the world of demons, but apparently... she's still too small. Never mind, she might not be staying at that position. My favorite number, I mean, what? It is pretty amazing. Her having the ability to shrink would be funny. Jeez. I mean, in one of her role plays, she did I think it was like when she was at a spa and she had like an oil applied to her, it shrunk her or something like that. But I mean, that was the item, not Krista's ability. Okay, this might be a little finicky here. I want them to line up perfectly initially here. So there's actually going to be a decent amount of Krista that's not visible due to height difference. But that's fine. Also, her tail is... what is going on with her tail between the two frames? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on here? What is going on here? What is up with this playlist? This playlist has problems. She's suddenly a Nakamura. Is the entire playlist messed up like this, or is it just... why? Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Mario Odyssey music. Yeah, her tail is like her tail position is a little jarring from frame 1 and frame 2 here. Now again, she's not going to be like frozen like this. Oh, also landing animation. So I could actually get away with having her Y position higher. And her X position a little further back. I'm going to have it somewhat close here because she's going to have a smooth vector while she's hopping in, because that part's being animated by the vectors here. So that'll actually look a little smoother. And then it goes to frame by frame, which sometimes looks jarring, but I might be able to get... I've gotten away with it in the past, so... Now what we're going to do is we're going to set a keyframe on the last frame of this. We're going to move this back down here. We don't need this track anymore. We're going to remove it. Now, where is Krista going to be at her highest height? I think we'll choose here. Hello? Hold on. I'm going to undo that change because that applied to the wrong one. I'll need to add more keyframes as we go. Why was it another party hat? Come on, come on, RNG. I've got how many items that can be thrown with throw random, and you're throwing in another party hat. It's not party time yet. It's not party time with Krista. Maybe it's party time with the sectoral leader. Who knows? Okay, so I think highest height will be here. It looks so weird. It will look less weird once we add a bit of a curve to it. Also, unfortunately, Krista's hair physics will not pay into mind her height change. So, not much I can do about that. Also, I think this is one of my favorite battle themes. This is the battle theme when you're in Chapter 4. In the Paper Mario, the Switch version. Because they added different battle themes depending on where you are. We played that last year on stream. It was a lot of fun. Sorry. I'm having too much fun with that. You know what? This isn't going to be the height of her jump. She's just going to jump in from off screen. I just have a feeling this is going to be really fast. It's going to be too fast. Also, I want the height decrease to be a little less. Maybe not. Maybe a little more height decrease here. Make it look nicer. That part is... Alright, so now we just gotta make some subtle adjustments here to make the animation look smoother. First of all, this is too fast. How about no to the Y? We're going to do this. Why is there 2 keyframes in a row? Hold on, we're going to remove this keyframe. Oh, maybe that's not the one I wanted to remove. Okay, we're not going to touch her X position right now because that's actually really good right now. It doesn't suddenly speed up or anything. Her Y position does need adjustment. So, at about here, we're going to bring that a little further up. Not too much further up. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're going to increase that a little bit more. We can have gravity begin to take her down over here. Down a little more, a little further down. Wow, if this would not lag, that would also help. Better. Okay, this is still too sharp of a change, in my opinion. Oh my goodness, will you stop lagging when I'm trying to adjust you? Sheesh. You know what? We're going to just go for an immediate decline in the height here. That includes here. It looks like she's a doll now. Doot, 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 doot. Okay. Well, now there's no point in all those keyframes at all. If I'm gonna do it that way, then there's no point to them. Also, gravity is supposed to be strongest on the last part. So if we're doing this, it's supposed to be less intense here. But it makes her leap look less mighty when I do it this way. So you know what? Right over here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my goodness, we got a raid coming in. Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome on in, Tide. Good to see ya. You were playing some Rainbow Six Siege, I see. I hope the matchups were good. Hopefully, good RNG with that. I know a lot of games with the matchup systems can hit and miss sometimes, because you get a wide variety of people. Cars, welcome on in. Good to see you. At the tabs merge. Went pretty good. That is awesome. Rikyu, good to see. Wait, it's your first time? I thought you were here earlier. Well, welcome on in. Good to see you. We are in the middle of a creative stream at the tabs merge. Oh, that's right. That's right. Twitch doesn't actually mark people in until they speak for the first time. Right. Well, welcome on in, everybody. I'm sectoral leader Cody. I like to play my RPGs. I like to play Mario games. I'm a huge fan of weather. And, of course, we do creative streams from time to time, like today. We're actually finishing a high five animation, which we started on earlier. Good to see all of you. But yeah, I'm glad it was a pretty good time with the Rainbow Siege, all that good stuff. Welcome on into a chill, creative stream. Dream Team. Ah, yes, yes, yes. We're doing a high five involving the sector leader and Krista, which is one of my other characters. And this might hopefully pave a way to creating high fives with random characters in the future. The way I got this laid out, so hopefully. I still have... This is not the kind of animation that is commonly done anymore, as far as I'm aware. I do frame by frame. I pose the model a little, take a frame, pose it a little again. And yeah, I do that frame by frame. Right now, we're on the 3rd stage of this out of 3 stages, where we put it into an editor and just make it into an MP4. I believe the Krista animation, what was it, 26 frames? Or was it 24? It was 24 or 26 frames. Oh, one or the other. And then the sectoral leaders was not as many. We are currently trying to line things up so that they high five, and I'm trying to make Krista's fall at least look somewhat... Huh. Actually, this part doesn't look that bad. I've got to go back and adjust a few more keyframes, though, so that we can have the, height behave a little more realistically. I'm going to say less height. But yeah, I hope that everybody else also had a lot of fun with Tide's stream. If any of you are like tired or need a beverage or a snack or all that, including Tide himself, definitely get some good old post-stream care done. All that good stuff. I'll still be here afterwards if you want to chill here. I'm still around for another... one hour? Little over an hour? Hour and a half, something like that. And hopefully we'll be able to get this animation done in the meantime. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I was about to say, I think we do have ads about to roll in about 2.5 minutes, so actually 3 minutes. It takes Twitch about 30 seconds to prepare the ads. We do run them every hour here just to get rid of pre-rolls, so that, like what you just experienced, when you raid in, you don't get immediately attacked by ads or anything like that. Yeah, we just do that to keep away pre-rolls for another roughly an hour. I think the ADHD assessment got results yesterday. ADHD, a combination of initiative and impulsive. You've got the mixed. Yes, the ADHD. ADHD. There we go. I don't even know how to say it properly. It's said how it looks. It's really nice getting the assessment and just knowing for sure. And usually when you get the assessments, you get the fine details in the document too. Was it last month or was it the month before? I think it was a month and a half ago, actually. I officially got re-diagnosed with autism. I actually had the diagnosis since child, but it was an outdated... It was the outdated term. It was Asperger's, which is not official anymore. Like, that's old. So yeah, I went to get that renewed and all that. Let me try to read up here before the ads start rolling. A graceful fall? Yeah, it's a graceful one. Yeah, I have a bit of fool merch. I actually had the tie-dye, the tie-dye shirt. I chose Galaxy. I mean, why wouldn't I? We got a little bit of a Galaxy theme going on here. The sectoral leader does like go in between multiple galaxies. It's what are you supposed to do? Another reason for getting the assessment, I wanted to see if my autism was mixed with anything else. Apparently, it's autism. It's just outright autism. Currently wearing the Pride Party shirt. Oh, heck yeah. Really loves a beanie. Wear it everywhere. Test it, and I finally get therapy stuff. Oh, heck yeah. Originally diagnosed with pervasive development disorder. I didn't even know until 3 years ago. Oh, jeez. Struggle with maintaining focus on things unless I have lots of chaos going on. Yeah. It's understandable to some extent. I do still have the hyper focus aspect. That's something that's definitely pops up and is in line with what I got diagnosed with. I get very focused on that. Very schedule oriented. The schedules here, I'm not even going to be able to complete my words. You're going to hear the schedule is, and then the ads are going to roll. Yeah. There you go. See, the ads just started rolling. I actually called that this time. When the ad breaks do roll, you will notice a weather report presents itself. That is what my personal weather station instruments are reading at the points. So if you were doubting how much of a passion of weather is for me, I have my own weather station instruments. And this is only some of the things they report. There wouldn't be enough room in the Twitch chat here to actually put all the parameters. Also, not all the parameters display. It probably should be on a schedule. I don't like being told what to do. No, my decision making. I mean, the cool part about my schedule is that it's my schedule, so I get to decide what it is. But yeah, I have to plan things. If things go out of order, it can mess around with me. So, and then the other part of the autism thing is the social tendencies, more so IRL. Yeah, social skills are not very easy. More so if you don't know a person. If it's a friend, it's still just fine. Easy enough. Problem is, my friends also are not the best with communication as well. So, hey, we got something in common. We're not the best to communicate with one another. So that's a common thing we can reflect on. But yeah, right, sit back, enjoy. We will hopefully get this animation finished. Enjoy the music I've running in the background and all that. You will not hear it on the YouTube version. It is on a track that I will not be that I will not have unmuted when I upload the edited version. Yep, same. Tend to sync with how others act. If I'm comfortable with someone, it can be very me. When you're able to be yourself, that's amazing. Tush tend to sync with how others act. I'm very comfortable with someone. Tush can be very tush. Yes, Tush can be very tush. Exactly. I know. That makes sense. Really don't see the point in small talk. If it's important, I'll say otherwise. Love my schedules. If I'm taken out of it, I'm frustrated. Yeah, it is. It's not fun being pulled out of schedules. The ads are now in captivity. Excellent. We've locked them away for another 55 or so minutes. 56 minutes. Excellent. Now we can continue with our animation and our talking about our traits and all that good stuff. Because, yeah, like I said, no shortage of traits here. Oh, yeah. I guess, you know, I do have a little bit of... I don't mind some variation being added to things. You will actually find that reflected in some of the redeems that we have here, where there's a small chance of something else happening. Or the red button where there's 9 different outcomes. 8 if it's Krista. If Krista's streaming, it is 8. There's anti-Krista paradox. Anti-paradox precautions being taken there. Oh, by the way, this music is music you will hear in one of the Alliance raids you're forced to do. in Final Fantasy 14. We're trying to make...
I wonder what this button does.
There it is. There's the button. Oh, geez. Thank goodness I'm not in the middle of editing.
A button that transports you to Australia. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Why is my taskbar on the ceiling? Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back. One thing that really tickles my gears when plans are made, then I wait and they don't. That is really annoying. I mean, at those points, like, oh, if they do that more than once, it's like, well, I'm not part of your plans. Make a date, make it work. The only exception that I can make to that is if an emergency happens. Or if the weather's extremely dangerous. But even with that, like, look at the forecast and give people a heads up ahead of time. If the forecast on the day of your event says snow, and then you see right after it winds 30, gusting 50, might be a little shady getting there. I have driven in those conditions, and I can. It's just, it takes a little while for the snowplows to get to the road if the snow is falling heavy enough. Now, we don't have to worry about that yet. We don't usually start getting those problems until, at the earliest, it's usually partway through November. Usually it's December. Yeah, if you can shoot a message, oh, I can't make it because X, sure. When you don't even get a message after setting up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, things have to be in advance. Exactly. It drives me nuts when things get changed short notice. And unfortunately, our family is notorious for that. Changing details of the plan on the same day of. It's like, oh, for Pete's sakes, please don't. Please don't. Thankfully, there's one consistency with our family. Usually our family meetups are on Sundays. And I don't usually have any other significant commitments, aside from making sure like the stream schedule's out and all that. Which I have a habit of preparing ahead of time. Oh, right. I should probably be working on this while we're talking. Right. Oh, no, we got a sudden change here. Too much of a sudden change, so I'm just gonna give a little more height here. Okay, that is good. Which means the previous one here, previous keyframe, we're just gonna even taller. Yes. Yes. Okay, now that means I'm going to have to increase the height of here, this keyframe here. Whoa, not that much. That's too much. Yes. And then this... Oh, for Pete's sake. I don't like it when it lags and then it suddenly shoots the Y position up 800. Why? Was this the kind of stop motion animation like they use for Wallace and Gromit? It's not that kind of stop motion. It's not... I don't actually have, like, models I make myself or anything like that. It is frame-by-frame animation. Although this one is the same frame with a vector on it. This part is frame-by-frame, the GIF part here. And this GIF part also. Okay, so with this particular part here, I'm going to remove this. We don't... For some reason, the DaVinci control for delete just the selection is backspace, not the delete button. I'm not a big fan of that hotkey. Why does delete everything that is involved with the clip you have selected? But, yeah. I have to get used to that. Now, I think with this GIF animation, what we're going to do is we're going to animate Krista back to about here, which means I got to select this video layer 2 here. That has better shifted it right there. We're going to split the clip there. I got to figure out which frame this is. Let me go back into my folders here, into the animations folder, which has 707 items in it, by the way. Way too many animations. Way too many frames, I should say. Well, not all of them are frames. Some of them are the GIF files themselves, and some of them are the edit files. Okay, so what animation is this? So it is a Krista animation, and I think it's animation 14. It is before Krista turns her head to wink. Ah, okay. It is frame 20. I'm going to bring frame 20 into the editing software. Also, I'm going to bring frame 26 here, because we're going to have Krista hold that for a bit. Let's see. 25. 55. Oh. Right, this is 30 frames per second. That's right. So that's going to translate to 25 if we're doing 30 frames. Need to get a new computer chair. This one leans so far to the left. Oh no. Oh no. These chairs. This chair's showing subtle signs of getting old. It will sometimes gradually lose air pressure in its cylinder here, so it'll like gradually shrink sometimes. And then I'll have to like get up and... Oh, right now it's not doing it, actually. Huh. Well, it's not doing that right now, but it occasionally does that. Thankfully, my chair is not leaning to one side, but also my chair does have the legs that spread out enough to discourage that. Thank goodness. If they didn't spread out enough, then I'd probably have that issue. So tempted to have some trail mix. Not right now. Not right now. I want to focus on this. Now that we can press the delete button on. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Right. We need the extra video layer again because we gotta line up. We're gonna line up the Kristas. We're gonna play a game. It's called Line Up the Kristas. Okay. This might be easier than I thought. I've almost succeeded in lining up Chris's. Hold on. We gotta decrease the x-axis a little. I've had a habit of resting my legs up and right-handed. Turn to the left. I can't rest my legs on whatever's closest. Oh! Do it often enough and the chair starts to lean left. Chair's doing a good job at adapting, but a little too good of a job, like to the point where it's fallen over. Jeez. Oh, there we go. I think I got the Krista lined up now. So this is roughly the settings I'm looking for then. So I can have her look at the screen for a bit, and then I can have her lower herself down and go, whoop. Oh my goodness, yep. Just have the tail wander off. Remember when Super Smash Bros. Had an actual story? I know Brawl had its problems, including Meta Knight being the most broken character, which, I mean, I was some sort of fine with that because I think Meta Knight's a pretty cool character, but not a good practice when you're trying to keep characters balanced relative to one another. But Brawl had an actual story. And for there being no voice acting, they did a pretty good job at conveying things without voices at all. Right, we just haven't gotten anything as good as Super Smash Bros. Brawl's story. Okay, so around here, I'm just going to set a keyframe here. And then... Oh, you know what? We're going to extend how long this is, too. Hopefully that didn't affect where the keyframe is. Oh, good. Thank goodness. Ultimate had a very confusing story, if you can even call it that. I am glad that Sakurai was, like, straightforward. He was like, don't expect something like Brawl's Subspace Emissary. I'm glad he gave us a heads up to, like, set the bar lower. I still didn't enjoy Ultimates very much. It's just a whole bunch of unfair challenges, which are almost always stacked against you. They're always, like, advantages that the enemy gets against you or whatever. And it's just a whole bunch of challenges. It's not an actual, like, adventure stage or anything like that. Most games struggle with balancing characters. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Ultimate was the ultimate challenge with trying to balance characters. The roster was huge. Have you ever played the Mario Kart games? Wait. MK games. Why did I think Mario Kart? Like, sorry, like, if M&K... Mortal Kombat, oh! It's not my style of game. Mortal Tush. No, I definitely haven't played that one either. That one's probably... that one is probably M-rated. I mean, to be honest, the early Mortal Kombat was also M-rated because, you know, blood and gore and all that. But, Mortal Tush. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, you know, you could at least try to keep a story consistent. The stories are a hot mess. Metal Gear Solid stories can be a little confusing. This was a cover-up. This was a cover-up for this. This was a cover-up for this. This... Oh my goodness. It was like a chain of twists in the story. But ultimately, I don't know, this sounded a pretty intriguing story. And it feels like there's a pretty strong hint to what could actually be going on here, honestly. I know that sounds a little conspiracy to say, but it's like, I don't know, I just get the impression. I'm just getting the impression. But I don't want to get too far into that. I could... Honestly, like, politics is another thing I could talk about a whole bunch, but I don't want to. I don't want to talk too much about that. That's not a topic that everybody fancies too much. It's just, you know, there's a lot of things I could complain about to what's happening here. Let's just say, like, our history lessons covered like medieval times and all that stuff, and times when religion and state were a really big issue. Those issues have lessened somewhat. They're definitely not gone. But corporate and state is our huge issue of this age. You also have to play them in the right story order. Yeah. Okay, games tied stories to other games really nicely. For instance, Bravely Default and Bravely Second tied the two really nicely on the 3DS version. On the Switch version, they sort of weakened the ties between the two games. I don't know why. But at least it's not Bravely Default 2. Bravely Default 2 felt pretty disconnected from the other games. Looks in the history, it sees a familiar path happening with certain... Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness. All these people, it's like... And they're old enough that they should have taken the social studies that tells them about that and this... But also, despite my general... I felt like I was disinterested in social studies, but judging by what my memory actually retained, maybe I was actually interested and I didn't know it. I don't know. Don't ask me to remember names. I will not remember names, but events and as they happen, like at this time, this happens, like, well, that seems to stick a lot better. Okay, so here we want Krista to go... We want her to duck. And I think we'll do that... Should I allot 10 frames to that? Should I allot 5 frames to that? Huh. We'll start with 10 and we'll see if it's too slow. And then we'll have her duck down right to here. She doesn't quite hide her tail. And then we do a little, like, little bounce as she, like, walks away. You didn't duck enough, Krista. You didn't duck your tail. Even dates and faces stick better than names. Yeah. I knew who they are. I just can't tell you their name. Nope. And actually, that's one of the big things when I'm reading, when I read news articles. It's like, I'm not looking for your speculations. I'm looking for, this happened at this time. Ah, okay, excellent. Okay, so that gives me a good timeline of this happened at this, and I can do some comparison, like, and also for safety's sake, was anybody that I know near that area, because I'll bring it to their attention if they're near anything potentially unsafe. But also just knowing when something happens where. Important information, not your ideas of what happened. Yeah. And honestly, I don't mind it when the media decides we're not mentioning this criminal's face. They don't. We're not giving them the attention they don't deserve. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to remember the name anyways. Just at this time, this happened. I know the media does tend to, like, some media outlets are like, we're not going to mention the name. We're not giving this person undue attention. We don't have to. No, that's valid. Yes, I want to know certain news sources' opinions or views. Yeah. Yeah. It's quite a bit of a problem when they do their speculation. So it's like, no thanks. It's like when you sneak in an advertisement into a video or like a little sponsorship section, and you could tell they're clearly just advertising it because they were paid to. It's like, nah, I'm gonna skip this part of the video. Yep, day X at X time, this location, this happened. Exactly. With weather events, it's extra fascinating. Like, I'm really looking for date and time, especially if it comes to severe weather, because I could check historical radar. It's like, get an idea of what it looked like that day. And we can learn from that. If it involves something like a tornado, we can learn what sort of patterns could indicate which patterns. It's really handy. All right, so at this point here, we're going to say, like, Krista has... it's almost comical when she does this every time. Peekaboo. I don't watch any news source here anymore. Just no point. Mess with mental health. Even want to stay informed for my family's safety. Yeah. Where I find myself turning to more local news sources at points because national media just gets too carried away. Usually the CBC is pretty good. There's the odd time where I feel like they were a little off their mark, especially during that large peaceful protest. They were off their rockers. Like, what the heck? But for the most part, they stick to the facts. They also have a few programs as well that are fascinating. That look up into, like, scam chains and all that. You also look at patterns and see if it's a reoccurring thing. Yep. Geological and geographical situation. Yeah. Exactly. Like this year, the hurricane patterns. The hurricane theme this year was turned north too soon. Most of the hurricanes turned north too soon. Although the first one was blocked by a high pressure system. And then the other ones decided to follow similar paths. Unfortunately, Bermuda didn't... actually, Bermuda did get really lucky. They were about 10 miles away from getting hit by the wall cloud of that one hurricane. So they did actually get pretty lucky. Yeah, this was an interesting year. So we did get that above average hurricane season, but it was mostly over the water. So I gotta say, they did a good job with their forecasts. It just was not over land. None of those were over land. Also, I gotta check the records here, but I'm trying to remember. I don't know when the last time we had a season with no landfall. No hurricanes made landfall from the Atlantic. Might be mistaken. I don't normally get 3 or 4 on land per year. I've seen 2 to 3. We do get the odd year with 4. Usually it's notably lower than the total amount of hurricanes. We did have that one year where the hurricanes were wild and like exhausted the entire phonetic alphabet of the limited letters that they use. Once or twice. 2004 was crazy. Yeah. 2 is definitely a number that we tend to get. Oh yeah, they're not always destructive. Category 3 plus, it doesn't happen every year. In fact, I think the average is less than 1. It's some like 0. I don't know. I'd have to actually look up the number. But I'm pretty sure that number is less than 1. For, that is for category 3 plus. Okay, so from this point forward, we want Krista to do... Well, first of all, we're going to assign the x-axis of her tail moving. And then we're going to do the little bounce thing with the y-axis. Okay, so it starts at frame 20. And I think we're going to give it 1 second. We're going to give Krista 1 second to leave. Sort of like that. You can't see me. Yeah. Ivan was rude. Hit in Florida not once but twice. Yep. Yeah, Ivan was... What was that? What was that hurricane's problem? Wait, what? Whoa. Hold on. I see what... No, wait, I don't see what happened here. Why? Why is the X position changing? Whenever I put a keyframe on position, it is supposed to put it on X and Y. For some reason, there was no keyframe on Y. Okay, we're going to assign this to 252. Don't know why I did that. Yeah, Ivan, for some reason, Ivan just did not like Florida for some reason. I gotta say, though, down in Australia, the northern tip has actually gotten hit by tropical cyclones. The same tropical cyclone multiple times before, too. That one is an interesting one, though, because hurricanes can actually approach from either direction in that particular area, depending on where they wind up going. Thankfully, that area is not very densely populated, but that area does have a lot of indigenous folks up there. I don't think it's very fun dealing with any sort of tropical system. Okay, so we're going to do the little bounce thing now. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe 3 frames? Doesn't sound very... 2004 was like Hurricanes wanted... Yeah, they were competing with one another for sure. My goodness. And then there was, I remember Hurricane Sandy in particular. That hurricane was fascinating. That was the one that became a snowstorm, rainstorm hybrid, where the northern part of it was a whole bunch of snow and blizzard-like conditions, and the southern part of it was all the heavy rainfall and that, and maybe straight thunderstorms. Had all the elements going on in it. That was also the one, that was also the one that affected New York. Yes. 3 frames is perfect. 3 frames is absolutely perfect. Okay, I have a feeling this is going to look really fast. Keep in mind, this is 3 seconds plus 20 frames. So, oh, hold on. I gotta press the button. Oh my goodness, that looks great, actually. That Krista leave-in is really good.
Krista.
Oh, I like that. Oh my goodness. This part, I have problems with still. I think it just looks weird because it's like a locked frame doing that. This is her sneaking away. Add little tiptoe noises. Oh yeah, I haven't even had this added the sounds to this. I need to have a like footstep land noise, which I could probably just reuse one from the previous animation. If I can find it. Hopefully I saved it as a separate file. Sound elements. That's foot stomp. We're not looking for foot stomp. Tap? Is it tap? I think it's tap. And I think it's... yeah, this is where it should play. Wait a minute. Does that even get picked up? Oh, I don't think you can actually hear that. I don't think I got the audio going through from the editor. Easy fix. I can just go over here and... oh, there it is. Resolve.exe. Add. Oh, great. Now I'm hearing it twice. Hold on. Oh, wait. I know why I'm hearing it twice. I don't have it routed properly. The editing software is actually going right to my headphones. So I'm getting the headphones output, but I'm also getting it from here. You know what I could do, though? Maybe I could put it in this layer here. Properties. Nope, never mind. Can't do that. Here? Hold on. Advanced audio, game audio, monitor off. Okay, so if I go in here, I add it to here, and then I remove it from here so that you don't hear it twice. Remove. And then I enable this layer. Yeah, there we go. You can hear it, and I don't hear a second one. And then we need some sort of high five. I might need to find that one. I might need to find that one in all these sound effects all over the place. Add a meow sound effect for the high five, yes. I wonder if I can record it. I wonder if I can record just a, Wait. Oh, no, I think the microphone actually captured that one. It hit the limiter. Oops. Okay. I might be able to just record it. I'm just gonna call it clap. Audio 1. It didn't pick it up. Why is there noise suppression here? The microphone does not have a built-in noise reduction thing. Those are filters I add. Oh, this is why. Audio output. Ah, yes, for my capture card. Exactly. Yes, that's what I want. I want audio output from my input from my capture card. Why are you selected my capture card? Oh no, I don't even know which one to select because it's cutting everything off. I'll capture it directly from the microphone. Yeah, see, there we go. That's better. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, now we're going to give it a trim. Jeez, that's loud. Okay, we're going to put a bit of a volume control on that. Right about there. Just hear the clap noise, and then the sectoral leader disappears like magic. It's a teleporting high five. Is it loud? Doesn't look too loud. I'm checking the output here. No, it goes into about the -10 range there. And since it's just a sound effect, I'm not too worried about it drowning out my voice or anything like that. And it's a quick one at that. It's a little sudden, though. It's like very sharp. I think that's the problem I'm having with this, is it sounds very sharp. To teleport of existence. Oh my goodness. It does sound sharp, though. That's the problem I have with it. Oh, hold on. I'm going to set it to the standard -9 that I usually do. Actually, that sounds a little better. That actually sounds like a painful. Oh yeah. It was the Krista or the sectoral leader? I wonder. You know what? I'm a little curious now. I might be able to add some audio effects to this. Maybe make it a little smoother. Like a little reverb. I think a little reverb would be good. Yeah, it's definitely very sharp. How does the default set-in sound on this? I don't know how to get a preview on this, actually. I still don't understand the audio term brightness. Welcome. I was supposed to say welcome home, Aqua, but it's like, oh, well, your home, your home. Welcome to your home. Welcome back, Aqua. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can actually adjust this? Dang. We'll do somewhat small room. Sure. I don't know what that'll change. Miss Chaz, Aqua's home now. Welcome home, Aqua. Okay, no pre-delay. Honestly, I wouldn't actually mind a bit of pre-delay. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing with most of this. I think the low gain, we'll give the low a little bit of a gain. Because it's the high gain. I have an issue with the high a little bit here. That's probably why the sound is so sharp. I don't usually play around with these controls, so let's see. I'm not an audio engineer here, but... And also, there's no preview button, which is actually a little annoying.
Oh! Yo, did he just walk up slowly and down smash?
Fiber, welcome on in. Good to see you. I hope you're having a lovely time zone. I want to turn down the brightness and turn down the dry wet to be more dry. Oh, okay. Okay. Here, I'll set this to about 60. And then brightness, we're just going to turn that down. Okay, it doesn't want to go exactly 30, but that's fine. That's fine. Make it a little bit more of a clap. Hold on. I gotta move the window, like, down here. Whoa! I think I made the room size a little too large. Oh yeah, let's give it a little more reverb time too. Actually, no, that's actually what was causing the problem. 400. 403. Fine. Fine, 403. Nah, 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 nah. See, the problem is the clap that we recorded is way too sharp. I could give it another try and maybe try a different hand angle. Maybe that'll fix it. Oh, hold on. Height. Height could also be an issue. That's all right. I think if we add a bit of an echo effect to it. And we don't need the delay time to be too much for this, but, you know, a little bit. However, we do want the DK to be up. We're not in a large room, so I'm just going to increase that. No. There, that's better. Nope, that's not good. That DK almost doesn't seem to be high enough. I'm going to set this to 50. 50. 50. Oh, come on. You know what? I'm just typing in 50. Oh, that's his delay, not DK. Oh. I mean, as cool as that sounds, that's still too much of a delay. How about a 10 millisecond difference between the two? You know, if I speed this up, that actually sounds a little better. That still sounds like an object, though. The problem is it sounds like an object being dropped now. Not a clap. I think the initial clap was just not done correctly here. Got the mod sorted for Valheim. Oh, yeah. If food I planned on eating seems to be consumed. Oh, oh no. Dang. Back to the drawing board for planning. I think I'm going to redo this one. There I go. I pressed the delete button again, which is, again, does not work the way I want it to. Okay, I'm going to try clapping further away from the microphone this time. Okay. That still seems a little sharp. No. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go to the other side of the room here. Hopefully this won't be a bit here. Which means I need to temporarily take off the headphones. I won't be able to hear the alerts while I'm doing this. Okay. Okay. You'll probably get to hear the, me getting back to the chair, too. And you clap have the fingers from one hand connect to the other palm of the hand. Well, yeah, I do have to shift this over. It's just the initial silence here. Oh. That sounds so much better. That sounds so much better. Not clapping next to the microphone. Who knew that was the solution? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the one. That is much better. I had to go almost to the other side of my room for that. Tush the one. Yes, exactly. Tush the one. Yeah, that's a solid clap. Much better. Also... yes, we're not including that. But, you know. Did I have a sound effect for Krista's wink? I mean, we don't really need to. We do have a sound for this, though. We do have a sound for when Krista hides. Oh, we got ads beyond about to be sprayed here. Oh, shoot. Which one was it? Krista Hammer sound effect V1. No. I don't think it's that one. I think that's when Krista's hammer lands. That's what that noise is. Oh, was it Crouch? Yeah. Hold on. I gotta change this back to media pool. There we go. Yeah, that's the sound I use when Krista's hiding. Oh, that's way too much fun. Way too much fun doing this. Okay, anyways, let's actually work on getting this done. Sounds like a Pokemon. It's a YouTube poop. Okay. I could have Firebot play a sound before this to indicate Krista jumping. And then have a brief little delay before the animation actually plays. You know, one of the slide whistles? Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. The ads are now rolling, so as a result, we have a little bit of a weather update happening. Also, while we are on the ad break, I'm also going to get a lurk tab open up. You probably already know for who, but I'm just going to get that up ahead of time. Hey, I don't want to hear myself. Excuse me. I'll do that. Do that. I get confused for a moment when it shows my channel and somebody else's channel for just a brief moment when Twitch is unloading and reloading a page. Okie dokie. Here, good to continue. Now, jump sound effect. Do I not have a jump sound effect? What? I'd have to have one, though. There's an animation of Krista doing, Was it Krista? No, it was the sectoral leader jumping. Okay, but I can use... where's the tap? I can use that for when Krista's tiptoeing, and maybe add a bit of a modification to it. Put it right here. Oh, hold on. We gotta make it a little quieter because it's gotta be like sneaky. Just a little. And we're gonna make it a little higher because comical, funny. That did not sound very very high. Hold on. I think it was semitones. Yep, there we go. There we go. We got it. The ads are now over, everybody. Welcome on back. We need one more. Also, maybe we should make these higher pitched. Is that applying it to all of them? Yes, it is. What? Oh, okay. That was just the program being a little janky there. Okay. And then... Oh, we should just have Krista make a little hee-hee. Hee-hee. See-hee. Sorry. If she does not already have one. We have the filter. We have the filter that we can do. We can apply that to. The little Chris the Giggle. Yes. I think that would be a nice little touch. Right about here. I'm going to record this on audio layer 2, though, because it might run over this, and I don't want to do that. Voice narration. Now, this time, I have to run it through B1. If I can find B1. Are you B1? Nope, you're A1. You're B2. You're A4. Why are these in random order? Where's B1? Oh, hold on. B1's up here, I think. A3, A2, B1. There we go. We got it. We got it. Okay.
You see, the reason why it didn't record is because I selected audio track 1.
Sorry. It did not select audio track 1. That would be the reason why. I'm glad it just ignored it because of that. Okay, let's try this again, but on the correct audio track. Thank goodness it did not run everything. Okay, right. Move this window. I want to see where Krista is. We're gonna try this again. What? Hey! Don't you dare! Don't unselect everything. Don't know why I did that. Okay, let's try this again. And then I forget to, yeah. Hold on. What? Okay, we're just gonna move this over here. Otherwise, I'm hearing multiple things at the same time, and it's hard to tell. Nah. Let's try that again. Not me. I keep forgetting to press the stop recording button. Okay. Oh, what? I have way too much fun with this. Wait, it actually begins here? Hmm. No. No, that still doesn't sound right. Hey, I'll get this. It's just gonna take a few tries. Da Vinci, why do you keep doing this? Stop unselecting the timeline. Did it not record at all there? What? Why? I can't even see where it actually is. Why is the sound, why are the sound waves not showing up? It shows up over here, so I can tell it's being read, but it's not showing up here. Okay, let me just... We're gonna do a little cut here. Okay. Not gonna press the delete button. I'm gonna press backspace. There we go. Okay, good. Cute. Okay. Oh, yes. Reverse clap. Exactly. Yes. Oh, I love this. How to undo a clap. A high five. Gotta start making dinner. Back to the phone I go. All right, Jay. Hopefully the phone will treat you better this time. These mobile apps and their problems. Maybe I should make this a stomp instead of a tap. Yeah. Yeah, it might be too much to ask of the app. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna remove this, and we're gonna do... Where's the stomp? Foot stomp. Whoa. Yeah, that's a little loud. Okay, something is wrong with audio layer 1 here. It is not reflecting my changes. Visually. It's not making any changes? Oh, for Pete's sakes, it's on pants. Seriously? The scroll wheel is trolling me. That would explain it. Okay, I think this is just what we're looking for. The little tiptoe afterwards. Yeah, I think that looks like a pretty good high five animation. Oh, that's right. There is a stage 4 implemented into Firebot. Right. Which shouldn't be too difficult, I think. Maybe. I'm claiming it's not that difficult. We'll see. Where is the jump sound, though? We don't need the jump sound. Krista could just come out of nowhere. Krista just pouncing from a higher area. Well, if we really need to add it, we can just have Firebot play that sound. And it'll still have to count towards sound clips played if I do it that way. Okay, well, I think at this point, we can add it to our resources here. It'll be a video resource. I'm going to set it to the stream parameters, except it's going to be 30 FPS. Video elements, and we're going to be... Wait, I put all my animations here, right? Yes, I did. I see red button push. The hammer ones have a green screen on them. Oh, that's right. Yes, I probably should have a green screen on here, actually. That's good. I can't have a green screen. And there's a Krista and a sectoral leader, so this is going to be a bit of a problem. Time to think of a color to use. Oh, that's going to be annoying, actually. This could be really annoying. Let's try a green screen. We're going to set sensitivity to higher. We're just targeting the background here. Sorry, I got to set sensitivity to lower so that we don't make the sector leader's hair transparent. Okay, so up here, we are going to go into effects. We're going to go into generators, and we're going to go into solid color. We're going to move this track down. We're going to move this track down once more. I think this is what we're looking for. Oh, hold on. Oh, also... Seriously? Oh. That would be why, because I didn't set the color. That tiptoe at the end is so silly. It's beautiful. Okay. Let's try this again. Video elements. Yeah, that tiptoe part is wonderful. I love it. I think we'll call it High Five Krista. And I'm just going to specify .mp4, so I shouldn't have to specify... Oh, yeah. Yeah. DaVinci automatically removes it anyways. Video elements. That looks all good. 30 frames per second is what we set the timeline to, so that makes sense as well. Yeah, looking good so far. We'll have to see how well Firebot likes it. We're going to give it a render. Yeah, it doesn't take that long. It's not even 4 seconds long. I'm going to give this project a save, and then we're going to start doing Firebot shenanigans. Okay, Firebot shenanigans. This is gonna be a fun one here. So this is going to be an avatar animation. It is going to be a high five, which I'm probably just going to use H5. Five animation. We're going to use custom. We're going for a preset argument. We're checking for animation, and we're checking for it to say H5. We're going to make sure the stream character is... This will only work with sectoral leader Cody because he is currently the target of the high five over in the corner. The problem that I'm anticipating us running into is a disagreement with the resolution. We should be able to correct it on Firebot, though. We can actually set the parameters differently, the size parameters differently, if we need to. I'd prefer not to do that, actually. And then we're going to copy one of these templates here. Just... Oh, hold on. This is not an image source. We're not going to copy from this one. We're going to copy from one. We're going to copy from this one because this one uses a video source. Okay. Animations? Oh, this is a GIF. That's not what I want. Hold on. Where's the one that involves a video? Flashback to last stream, Firebot. This one should hopefully be a little less funky. Hopefully. I thought I had one that was a video source and not just a GIF. Oh, you know what I did? I think I just saved it as a GIF from the video editor. I think that's what went on there. Okay, we're going to save it as a GIF then. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're just going to make it a completely new branch here. First of all, animations layer. Everything's going to go away while I'm in the animations layer. Just for a moment here, you'll still be able to hear me. I believe this will be a media layer. I see. Media layer blue screen? No, not blue screen. We could just add a new animation layer, but I prefer not to do that. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah. Hello, darkness, my tush friend. Okay. All the tush stuff in the darkness. I see. I see. You know what? I think we're going to add a video animation layer. So, media source. We're going to call it animation layer 5. I already have 2 other animation layers. Animation layer 5, we're going to drag it all the way down into above animation layer 4. There we go. Animation layer 5 media source. And then I'm going to assign, I'm going to manually assign it first so that I can get the size in right. Video elements. Okay, now where is it? Should be high 5. It'll be... Okay. And then we're just going to add a green screen effect to this. Color key. I'm just going to put GS for green screen. Look at this galaxy effect. What's going on here? Wow, I can actually set the similarity pretty high without affecting the sectoral leader's hair color. That's surprising. However, does it affect Krista? I can still see a little bit of a green screen here. I'm surprised at how high I can set this without affecting the sectoral leader's hair. This might actually be pretty good. That looks good. Problem is only you can hear it right now, so hold on. Let me just... and also it's played on every single audio track. We're going to make sure that it does not do that. It should actually be playing on track 1 and track 5. And also, we're going to set it to monitor and output so I can actually hear it too when it plays. Yes, there we go. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. And actually, the position in the VTuber is looking good too. I might not need to make any adjustments to the size of this. Let's get back over to here. Now you can hear the music again. Set OBS, no, not image. Media source file. Thank you. We're going to go to animation layer 5. We're going to select the file we're looking for. Going to go over to video elements here. High 5 Krista. Some of these have conditional effects. I'm not really too worried about the 2K HD. I don't think I'll be doing a 2K at all. I could put into a conditional branch just because I do have the feature built in. Conditional effect. And then I think, yeah, stream res, and we check for 2560. And we're just going to ignore it if it's like that. Because we're not going to have it set to that. Honestly, transform, OBS source. This is just for future, this is future-proofing. So the layer is found on animations, and we're going to go down here to animation layer 5. We don't need any transform time. We're going to set the position to 0, 0. We're going to set the scale to 1 and 1. And we shouldn't need to touch rotation. That's just for future-proofing. Label it. Resolution check so I know what it does. I usually put a brief delay here. It gives OBS time to process this. And then OBS source visibility. Actually, I don't think I have to go too far down for the animations layer. Animation layer 5, we are going to have it show. The animation layer is, the length of it is about a little over 4 seconds. So I'm going to set it to 4.5 seconds. Delay. 4.5. Hold on. There we go. Okay. 4.5 seconds. I don't know. You might have heard that in the background. Okay. Resolution check. 4.5 seconds. And then we're going to do another... Sorry. Viz gets me what I want. There we go. Source visibility. Go back over here. We're going to instruct it to hide. Also, at the same time, not pre-recorded scene, weather, no. I mean, we could have it apply to weather as well. And for multiple program compatibility, we'll check both of these, and we'll set these all to hide. This source has so many things. Sheesh. The gameplay layer here. Way too many things. I gotta get rid of some of the old elements that I don't use anymore. I don't think I'll target that one. That's the BRB screen. My VTuber's not really supposed to be on that screen. Why do I have an extra source here? I guess I was experimenting with the program and couldn't get it to work the way I wanted it to. This one will hide my character. Hopefully it doesn't take too long for this to execute, considering how many sources I'm targeting with that. Oh, that's right. We want to bring back my VTuber early. So, we're going to make a separate OBS source visibility partway through the animation. We're going to have to adjust this timing. It'll take a little testing to get it right. At least this time we can just check the box, and there we go. It's already at show by default. Okay, and I think that's all we need. We don't need to target this one. This is just there so that I can preload the avatar. Because sometimes oftentimes, when OBS starts up, it will not load my VTuber in immediately. So I have it secretly do that in the background on the intro screen. Or not so secretly when Krista's streaming. For some reason, when Krista's streaming, you can see her preloaded in the background before the stream even starts. I don't know why it just does that with Krista. Anyway. Okay, so delay. I'm going to estimate 1.5 seconds. And we're going to put that here. We're going to decrease this to 3. Because I didn't take a look at the timeline to see when my dude disappears. So, I guess we'll find out. All right. Huh? Why does it take so long? It's probably because of how many sources I have selected. Wait, what? It did immediately this time. Why was it so slow the first time? Okay, so my fella disappears a little too quickly here. So we're going to set this to 2 seconds. And I'm going to set this to 2.5 seconds. Why did it not do anything? Show animation. Show character. Why is it taking so long? So cute with their tail going across the screen. It is. I love that little touch. One second? Seriously, that much of a gap? What is going on here? Too soon. Okay, that's too soon. 1.5 seconds. And then we set this to 3. Yeah. Yeah, that seems pretty good. It'll look better when my character is back to his normal costume. There's another problem, too. I think there's a bit of a size difference problem here. I think that's just a small adjustment we need to make with the actual animation itself. And that is to have the sectoral leader stay there for just a little longer. I think it's swapping back, like, way too soon. Thankfully, now that we have all the time in and all that out here, we shouldn't have to worry about too many more adjustments. It's just a fine little adjustment we gotta make. Okay, high five animation. We're gonna get that back up here. Yeah, it like disappears before it's even finished. Is this the final frame? Oh, for Pete's sakes. I think I have to put this into a... Oh, hold on. It's only... Okay, this is its own timeline. Good. .58. Position. I don't think the position actually going to match, but... Decrease. Or, sorry, increase. And I'm going to have him linger there for about 5 frames. And then we can use that little window. Okay, and then we're going to do a replace operation on that. Hold on. I need to unload it from OBS. Oh, which means I have to go into the animations layer here. And... yeah, select something else. Select Krista Walk. Sure. Look, Krista Walk. All right. Let's try that again. Okay. And then we're going to go back to high five. Okay, we made the change. Now... Um, 5 frames out of 30. I don't know. 1.3 now? Which means 3.2. No. No, it seems to be notably longer, actually. Wait, why did I do that? 1.7. Which means 2.8. I went the opposite way that I was supposed to. Okay. Again. That's pretty... Okay, that's pretty seamless. Size difference is still a little bit of a concern here. You know what? I think that's close enough. It's going to be really difficult for me to assess what is... like, the swap in between the characters is going to be difficult while I have the Halloween costume on. I don't account for the fact that there's a Halloween costume. I don't plan on making another one of these animations just for a different costume. But I think we got something pretty good going on over there. So animation H5. So now I should be able to toggle this from a button. So now I can hit save on that. And what I can do here is I can go animation and I can go H5. And then run it. Nice. Nice. That is what I'm looking for. Made a lot of progress. Oh, heck yeah. Ooh. Let's see if that promotion message actually happened correctly. Did it happen under the right circumstances? I think it did, actually. Because... currency... Yeah, your currency just hit the threshold. So, yeah, that should... I think that is actually the threshold. So I actually got this thing working properly. I actually got the ranking system to work properly. Let me check here. So if I scroll up on it and I take a look at where the branches converge. Branches converge at a value of 400. Oh my goodness. It actually works properly. Almost. Almost works properly. It actually failed to apply the correct rank. Like, it actually showed the correct rank here, but it's not being reflected? Wait, now it is. Okay, never mind. It's just Firebot being slow then. It's just Firebot taking a really long time to apply ranks, apparently. Or maybe it doesn't get applied to the viewer database, or there might be a delay between the two. I don't know. Oh. Or maybe it's something else, because it looks like initially it brought you into the wrong ladder, and then it corrected it. Well, anyway, it looks like you're on the correct ladder now, so. We accomplished some things. We got the high five animation done. Well, you know, the sectoral leader and the crystal one. I could do one with somebody else at some point in the future, but look at that. Well, I mean, it's just very specific circumstances are being met to cause it. I believe it's like, if you're at a specific rank, if you're at one of those between ranks before the ranks branch off, and you have a subscription status, the two sort of mess around with each other, it seems. But it looks like ultimately it actually put you on the correct branch now. So hopefully we won't be seeing any more of that. Oh! It could have also been catching up, actually. It could have been playing catch-up. Oh, anyway, either way. I think we have reached a good point in which I can send everybody off. Let me just undo some of the changes I made to what's being captured here so that I don't confuse myself later. Like moving the background music layer to the other source here. Yep, right there. Add that right there. There, now that is on the correct layer, and now I am ready to send you off. I'm going to send you guys over to the Fool because he's back from TwitchCon. It's been a while. About time I send you over there. Let's get this started. Push button. Push button. Congrats on the top 3. You get bonus gold pieces for use in future sound commands. Thank for the stream. No worries at all, Ricky. I'm glad to be back to good old streaming. All right, everybody. First raid message is for subs, but if you don't have a sub, we got a message just underneath. Anybody can use that one. Stream was fun. See you on the other side. Yeah, we'll see you there for sure. All right, everybody. Have a lovely time zone. Thank you for joining, whether you're here in full and part, whether you're active, whether you're lurking or somewhere between. It's all greatly appreciated. I don't know if the CC can catch up when I speak that fast, but hey, we'll see. Next stream is going to be tomorrow at noon. And that will be a Krista stream with Final Fantasy 14. She'll probably do the Halloween event with everybody. So, hey, there we go. On Friday, we will be continuing Bravely Defaults. We will be in a New Game Plus file by then. I look forward to that at noon. That'll be in FaceTuber mode. And on Saturday, we will be playing some Mario Kart World at 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturday. Look forward to that. All right, everybody. Till next time, take good care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and keep being fantastic. Just keep being fantastic, all right? Don't stop being fantastic. Don't stop being yourself. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. I can't activate that from here, can I?